Great morning, holy brothers and sisters! The 10th of Av, the lesson from the Kitzur Likutei Moharan was called Holy Humans. Teaching number 7, Ki merachamam yenahagim. For the one who has compassion on them will lead them. Isaiah 49:10. A person who is compassionate is able to be a leader of the Jewish people, and the thing that demands compassion and pity more than anything else is when the Jewish people, the holy nation, succumbs, God forbid, to sin. May God save us. This is indeed the most pitiful thing of all, for all the pain and anguish in the world is nothing compared to the heavy burden of sins, God forbid, since given the great holiness of the Jewish people at their root, and their exalted spiritual character and sensitivity, they cannot bear the heavy weight of sin upon themselves at all, even for one day. Now, the true leader is extremely compassionate, and he takes pity on the Jewish people, the holy nation, and endeavors to extricate them from their sins. But how is it that a person comes to sin in the first place? Sin happens only because a person does not know that there is a God controlling the world, since a person does not sin unless a spirit of foolishness enters him. Sota 3a. Therefore, all the compassion of the true leader of the Jewish people expresses itself in his efforts to instill knowledge and fear of heaven in them, in order to remove them from sin. May God save us. This leader thereby engages in the settlement of the world, so that the world should be inhabited by people, that is, by beings with knowledge. For the essence of a human being is his knowledge, and a person who does not have knowledge is not part of the settlement and is not called a human being at all. Rather, he is merely an animal in a human form. We must use our minds to elevate our bodies, rather than being driven by lowly earthly lusts and being defined as nothing other than animals. Even when this leader's time comes to depart from the world and his soul ascends to the place that it does, his ultimate purpose and perfection has still not been achieved if his soul should only be attached to some sublime and exalted place above. Rather, the soul's true perfection is achieved only if at the time that it is up above, it is also down below. Therefore, this leader must leave blessing after him in the form of a son or a student, so that his knowledge should also remain down below when he departs for the heavenly heights. Then, through the holy knowledge that remains after him in his children and students, he will rescue the Jewish people from sins for generations to come. Anyone who has even a modicum of knowledge about God knows that while God has seraphim, chayos, and ophanim, and many other sorts of exalted spiritual beings that serve him, nevertheless God's greatest pleasure and delight is only when we, from this lowly world, magnify and sanctify his blessed name. Accordingly, the true leader endeavors to leave his holy knowledge in his children and students, so that they will shine his knowledge into the world for generations to come, and rescue the Jewish people from sin for all time. When this takes place, it is then considered as if he himself actually remains in the world. It is our job to help save souls through our timeless teachings. That is why we record these audio teachings and write down notes and lessons in Sefarim, so that others after us may be helped as well. As always, thank you so much for learning together. If you enjoyed this lesson, please remember to like, comment, share, and borrow. And please God, we'll learn again tomorrow.